I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me.
So I have a quick question for you. So, if your mental energy was a bank account, how much did you put into it this week? Into your soul, into your light, into your life, into the truth of who you are. How much did you invest in you? Or were you managing other people's accounts? Right? Were you worrying about what they think or how they're living their life? Or did you feel like you had to manage other people? The chances are that some of us, maybe not most of us, right? But maybe some of us were sort of draining our bandwidth by giving our power away, worrying about somebody else, worrying about their opinion, worrying about our neighbor's lifestyle or our kids' choices, or worried about what the politicians are saying. Anyone? So chances are, when we do those kinds of things, we are withdrawing energy from our account and throwing it away, thinking that it's our job to be in control of the world. Right? I kind of think we wake up with a certain amount of energy every day. And so today's talk is about, where are you investing your energy? Are you putting your energy into what serves you? Or are you thinking that it's necessary for you to control the world? So this talk is a fun talk. A number of people came to me that they had read this book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. And so I thought, I gotta try to talk on this. This is such a simple idea, but it's a powerful message. So this talk is titled, Let Them. The 2 words that will set you free. So today we're going to dive into, how can we get our power back? How can we let other people in their lives run their lives? Right? Instead of us feeling like we have to tell them what to do, or we have to judge them for what they're doing. So I believe that these 2 words can dramatically shift our life because they refocus our energy. Now, we just want to let them. Just let them. And somebody said to me this morning, well, that doesn't mean we let them walk all over us, right? Absolutely not. Letting them is about having boundaries for what works. We're not just letting people run over us. We're setting boundaries, and yet we let them be themselves. We let them run their own lives, right? It's not about being cold-hearted or cutting people off. And kind of what this book says is there's a difference between loving someone and managing them, between supporting people and running their lives, between showing up with compassion and showing up with control. I think oftentimes we confuse being engaged with being in charge, right? We believe that loving people means controlling their decisions. But real love is the kind that liberates, right? It's a kind that trusts others enough to let them walk their own path and make their own decisions. Now there's a problem. And maybe you felt like this guy. Wouldn't it be great to have a control room like this and be able to manipulate everybody and push buttons and make people respond, right? Right. And there's a lot of us, or even parts of us, that is addicted to being in control. Not because we're bad people, not because we're bossy, but because we're scared, right? We're worried if our child makes the wrong choice, that will do what? It's going to reflect on who? It's going to reflect on us. We worry if our significant other is going to make a decision that might conflict with our relationship, that it's going to fall apart. We're worried that if our friend continues to date that disaster, we're going to have to watch them hurt themselves. But here's kind of the hard truth. Trying to control others is kind of a sneaky way to try and control our own anxiety. Right? When we try and control other people's lives, manage other people's lives, what we're really saying is, I can't handle feeling uncomfortable. So I need you to behave in a way that makes me feel good. That makes me feel safe, and that's not love. That's fear in kind of a clever disguise, dressed up as to-do list and advice and judgment and worry. And underneath that, there's a part of us that is afraid to let go. There's a great story that Mel tells in her book. Maybe you can relate to this. She says that for years, she tried to control her husband's way that he loaded the dishwasher, right? And she wanted him to do it the right way, which is whose way? Her way, right? So she gave him all kinds of tutorials. This is how you do it. These ones go like this, and these ones go like that. And the spoons go here and the forks go here. Sound familiar? Anybody ever given that tutorial? Anybody ever received that tutorial? Yeah. Finally, it hit her. She was like, oh, wow. She realized this isn't about the dishes. It's about control. She realized that she was spending her precious energy fixing something that wasn't even broken. So she stopped. She took a breath and she said, let him load the dishwasher the way that he wants to. I can let go of the grip. And just like that, peace was restored. Grace was restored in both the kitchen and her mind and her relationship. So what is the cost of control? What is the cost of trying to control others? I know when I've tried to do that, I find that I feel mental and physical exhaustion, right? It strains. You ever notice when you try and get your relationship to do something just like you want it, it strains the relationship. And at the same time, it keeps us we miss out from our own lives because we're so busy trying to control somebody else, trying to manage somebody else. And the key is, the more that we try to control other people, the more our life gets out of control. Right? It's like we've left our control of our own train and jumped in somebody else's, and meanwhile ours just rolls off the tracks. And that the heck of it is, and don't you wish it wasn't so, that other people are not our support animals. Right? They're not our anxiety management system. And they never signed up for the job. So here's what else. we start losing ourselves when our identity is tied to ensuring that everybody else behaves. Right? And we forget who we are when we're trying to manage other people. We lose touch with our own desires, with our own truth, with our own feelings, even though we might have feelings of wanting to control them, right? But we lose track of our own voice. We lose track of who we are. So you might say, okay, Rev, but what's the solution? The solution is let them grow their own garden, for God's sakes, right? And, let them is not about apathy. It's not about avoidance. It's emotional liberation. Let them grow their own garden. Let them have their own opinion. Let them parent their own way. Let them vote how they want to. But, I don't. Hold it back. Let them make their own choices and have their own consequences. We can still love them. We can still support them when we're asked. But we don't have to run their lives. Because when we stop running other people's lives, we get control of our own. Fully, freely, fiercely. We redeem our soul from whatever shattered attempts we spewed it out there trying to control other people. So there's power in letting them. And, let's be clear, this isn't about being passive. It's not about tolerating abuse. It isn't about letting people walk all over you. This is about recognizing what is ours, what is yours to carry, and what's not. It's about boundaries, right? Boundaries are for you. It's not about fixing them. For example, you might find yourself wanting to say, you need to stop yelling. Is that a boundary? No, that's control. You might say, I won't be present to somebody who's yelling. I'm not going to be here if you're going to yell. I'm not going to stand in the same room with you. Someone might say, oh, you shouldn't be so critical, right? Or instead you could say, you know what? I'm not going to stand here. I'm not going to be in the room with someone who's being critical with me. I'm going to leave, right? Boundaries are really rooted in self-love. Control is rooted in the opposite of love, is fear. One builds freedom, and the other one builds frustration. Mel tells another great story. I love this story. She shares about taking her teenage daughter to a fancy red carpet event. And Mel was thrilled, right? And her daughter, not so much. She sulked, she complained, she refused to wear anything that Mel suggested. Sounds like a real dream of a night, right? So, finally, she stepped back and she took a breath and she let her. She let her be moody. Right? She let her have her feelings, and she let her be 15, for God's sakes. And then she says, as soon as she let go of having to control how the night went, letting go of the itch to manipulate, she found herself with her daughter on the carpet, laughing, having a great time, and being present in the moment. Not because everything went perfectly, but because Mel chose peace over control. Take a breath. Don't you want some peace? Let them is like a spiritual circuit breaker. The next time you feel the itch to manage, meddle, micromanage, say these two words. Let them. I let them. Let them be late. Let them be messy. Let them have opinions. Let them wear Crocs to Unity on Sunday. Of course, we do have a Croc detector at the door. Let them mispronounce quinoa. What is it? Quinoa. Let them talk too loud. Let them make their weird life choices, right? Every time we say let them, we reclaim our energy. We reclaim our clarity. We reclaim our spiritual center. And we reclaim our joy, our peace, our love, our ability to be present in the moment. Because nothing drains happiness faster than needing everybody to behave in a certain way. Right? So what do you gain when you let them? Well, you gain mental space, mental clarity. You gain the ability to live your life. You have the energy to pursue your own growth, to follow your own heart, to recognize what is yours to give and what is not. You have better relationships because people feel safer around you because they're not feeling like you're trying to control them. And you have peace. Not because everything works out just the way you want it, but peace that comes from letting go. And when you let go, you can tap into the creative part of yourself because you're not worried about being wrong. You're not worried that someone might do something that you don't like. And you have confidence because you're no longer waiting on others to behave a certain way so that you can feel good. So, with your sister who homeschools, let her. With your adult son who is trying to figure out his life, let him. With your friends stuck in a circular cycle, let him. With your coworker who drives you bonkers, let them. To that person who's constantly trolling on Facebook, with your parent who keeps giving you outdated advice, with your neighbor who leaves their trash can out too long, with a stranger who cuts you off in traffic. You're not the behavior police, right? You're not the wisdom department of the world. Don't you wish you were, though? You are a radiant, growing being who's finally ready to live free. Does that feel good? Are you ready to live free? Are you? Anyone? Raise your hand if you are. Okay, good. So then, in other words, I have a challenge for you. Now that you've already raised your head and said you're available to take the challenge, here it is. So for this week, just for 7 days, I want you to try something bold, something radical. Every time you feel the urge to correct, to advise, to control someone, pause and sing, right? Can you sing Let Them? Let them. It may feel kind of quirky and weird at first, kind of like, trying to write with your non-dominant hand, but I invite you to try it. And look at how many times you can catch yourself letting go, being free, being in the moment. And you might be surprised. You might even be a little bit amused. So, and here's the bonus round. Do another audit at the end of the week and ask yourself, where did I invest my energy? Did I reclaim my peace? Did I reclaim my time? Did I reclaim my focus? Did I wake up with more clarity? Am I able to be more present? Check out your spiritual bank account. I bet you've got a lot more in it than you did at the beginning of the week. I bet you are a lot more prosperous, a lot more full, a lot more enjoyable. I bet you laugh a lot more. I bet you sleep a lot better, right? Because you're not dreaming, thinking about how you're going to get everybody to make you happy by controlling their lives. I love, anybody know who Elizabeth Gilbert is? Right? Remember she wrote Eat, Pray, Love, right? Well, she had this great quote. She says, "You're not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. It's not part of your job description, right?" I love that. All right, so let's change the energy a little bit, and I invite you to close your eyes, and let's go within and call upon the energy of spirit that's in this moment, this freedom, this let them meditation. And I invite you just to bring your awareness into this moment right now. So take a few deep breaths, to pause, to let go of all the thoughts. Just be right here, right now. And allow someone to come into your imagination that you like to control. Someone you maybe you think of it as helping them. Someone that you would like to see them do something different. And it's not someone who has been abusive or somebody you want to get back at, but just someone that you realize you want to control a little bit because controlling them makes you happy. And so I invite you to hold the image, the thought of this person and just relax into this moment. And to see them as the magnificent being that they are. And from this space of this loving being that you are, this perfection that you are, imagine saying to yourself about them, I let them. Just let them. Let them be themselves. Let them live their own life. You're not withholding your love, but you're relaxing into your own inner peace. Breathing in and breathing out. I let you be you. Breathing in And now take a moment and just see this person surrounded, filled with love, filled with the light that they are. And see yourself in the same way as a golden light, perhaps. A clear energy, a clean, beautiful energy. And let them taking another deep breath, breathing into this moment, breathing into this newfound freedom. And visualize yourself going from here today with this new found freedom to be yourself, to be at peace, to be a pure vibration of love. Breathing in and breathing out, I invite you to begin to bring your awareness back to this moment, right now. And then to open your eyes when you're ready. And I have a blessing I'd like to leave you with this morning. May you have the courage to let go of what was never yours to carry. May you discover the strength to live from your own center, not their chaos. May you find joy in the space you reclaim and freedom in the love you release. May you wake each day lighter, clearer, and more in tune with your own soul. And may you remember, when you let them be them, you finally get to be you. And let's say the affirmation together. As I let them live their life, I live my life with love, purpose, and peace. Namaste. I'd like to invite our amazing musicians to come back up.
So if you want to go ahead and stand, and we're going to say our power of protection prayer, and then we're going to hold hands and sing the peace song and boogie on out of here for the rest of our beautiful Sunday. So together we say, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and we let them.